What is going on, guys? So today we're going to talk about some things that are kind of weird, something that you might not have thought of before, and they're just things that you're going to miss when you get to basic training. So these things are obviously things that I missed a lot whenever I was at basic, things that I didn't expect. So if you do have your own things, if you're one of those people who's been watching these videos and you've already been to basic training and stuff and you have your own 2 cents to add into the comment section, make sure you guys do that. But before I get into the actual part of this video, my Patreon supporters, I gotta give a big shout out to these two guys, Dylan Cuddy and Joshua Easter. They joined up on the Sergeant Major tier, which is the one where we're gonna get to FaceTime. So I'm really looking forward to actually talking to you guys, FaceTime you guys about whatever you guys want to talk about. So that's gonna be really fun. But just want to say big shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for your support. If you guys have no clue what I'm talking about with Patreon, link is in the description. Don't need to talk anymore about that. But what are some of these things that are weird that you're gonna miss? Now, the first thing that I want to say is obviously you're gonna miss your family more than you think you're gonna miss your family. You're gonna miss home more than you think you're gonna miss home. Probably, I think for 99% of people, you know, you're gonna miss your cell phone, things like that. So that's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about is you're gonna miss clean water, like actually clean drinking water, because the only times that you're gonna get to actually drink something that's really been filtered out is whenever you go to the DFAC. You might get some milk or some orange juice, maybe if you're one of those lucky people that gets to have orange juice before it runs out and everybody else goes through the line and they just take it and you're the last platoon and you're like, oh, there's no orange juice, or like, oh, there's no milk, and you gotta drink the crappy Gatorade or whatever. The vast majority of the time whenever you're at basic training, you're gonna be having to drink really not that clean water. You're gonna be drinking out of water buffaloes, which a water buffalo is a big tank that is just filled up with water. So it's not gonna be tasting totally clean. It's not gonna be water bottle cleanliness and whatnot. And whenever I was at basic training, you drink shower water, right? So one of the fast ways to fill up your CamelBak is you fill it up with the shower head. So run to the shower, you got like limited amount of time, you gotta hurry up and get out in formation. You're like, oh crap, my CamelBak, which is the water little pack thing that you wear on your back everywhere you go. That's another thing that I wanna talk about. But that thing has to be full all the time. And you're in a rush, you go run to the shower, there's a whole bunch of shower heads instead of everybody be crowded around the one little fountain. And you know, that takes forever to fill up the 3 quarts in there. You run to the shower, and you fill it up, maybe some sink water if you're lucky, but that's not gonna fill up all the way. So one of the things that you're gonna miss is just clean drinking water. Now that brings me to the other part of this, where I just talked about the CamelBak, where you have to wear it everywhere you go, and there's kind of 2 parts here, and that's wearing iPro and a CamelBak. And at least for me, we had to wear iPro everywhere. And iPro is eye protection. You know, if you're wearing glasses, you don't have to wear iPro unless you're doing something where you're gonna have to wear the iPro over top of it. But for most people, you're gonna be wearing iPro, which is plastic, like not even sunglasses, plastic glasses that you just gotta wear like when you're eating food, when you're just standing in formation, when you're just doing stuff. You don't need it, like you really don't need it. I guess they're scared that you're gonna poke your own eye out with your own fingers, but you gotta wear this iPro all the time. You've got to have a CamelBak with you all the time. At least that's what it was for us. I know some people might have to have well, actually you always have to have a water source, so you might have a canteen instead of a CamelBak at some point in time. But for us, whenever I was there, you had to have the CamelBak, because whenever I went to base training over the summer, it was really hot. 1 quart of water, which is what one of the little containers are of the canteens, that's not gonna last you. So you have to have a whole bunch of water, 3 quarts on your back. Gotta have it with you at all times. And that was really, it's just annoying just having to put this thing on. You have to put your arm through like the cords. The way it works, there's like a little spigot where you'll drink out of it like right here, and you have to like stick your arm through it, and it's just really weird, and it's just annoying, and you have to have it on you all the time. And then whenever you leave, like on family day and graduation day, and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have to have my CamelBak on. This is amazing. Another big one that I think a lot of people would say that they missed at basic, because I know whenever we heard it for the first time, it was just like a big thing, right? And that's music. You don't really think about it. You hear music all the time. You hear it on the radio. You're hearing it when you're in the gym. You just hear music all the time. It's really relaxing. You listen to these genres that you like. It's a really nice thing. It's a way to escape, right? Well, music is one of those things you're not going to get at basic training. If you're lucky enough and you get like a radio or something, maybe you'll get to have the radio. We got radio privileges after so many weeks. I can't remember how long it was, but there was a long period of time where there was no music. And I remember the first time that we heard music after like a while at basic training. I remember there was like some drill sergeant who drove up on his motorcycle and he had music just blaring on his motorcycle. And I remember like literally the whole company, I can't remember the specific song, but it was a popular song that, you know, pretty much everybody likes. And I remember the whole company just like looking and be like, oh my gosh, it's music. Like, wow, this is literally crazy. And it's a little bit weird for us or the people who go to Fort Benning, because Fort Benning, it's really secluded from everything else. I know for Fort Jackson, you're kind of still around civilization a lot, so you're still gonna see, you know, normal cars and things like that. But when you go to Sand Hill at Fort Benning, you're just secluded. I'm not sure how it is at Fort Sill or Fort Leonard Wood because I've never been to either one of those basic training posts. But at Benning, you're secluded. You're not gonna see a normal house. You're not gonna see normal people. You're not gonna see really normal vehicles or anything for a long period of time. So when the first little bit of civilization comes around, you're just like, whoa, this is really cool. And one of those things was music. And then we got our radio privileges after so many weeks, and that was really cool. And everybody's always crowded around the radio, just listening to certain things. And they're like, turn the radio to whatever, you know, I don't like this. I like country music. And somebody's like, oh, I hate country music. And, you know, it's just one of those things. So here's something small that you're gonna miss. And maybe I've talked about it a little bit where you have to sit on the ground and stuff all the time when you're at basic training. But something that you're gonna miss in general is sitting on cushioned seats. It's gonna be a pretty rare occasion, like if you ever get to sit on cushioned seats. You know, on Sunday, you know, hopefully the chaplain service and stuff that you go to has got cushioned pews and things like that, so then you'll have a chance to get to sit on some cushioned seats. But, you know, for the most part, you're gonna be sitting on bleachers, and you're gonna be sitting on the ground outside. You're gonna be sitting on the ground in the barracks because you can't sit on your bunks. So one of those things that's just gonna be really nice is sitting on cushioned seats. And if you ever do get the chance to do it, you know, like if you go to sick call or at the beginning of reception, you know, you're gonna be going around, you're gonna be indoors, you're gonna be sitting in a chair, then move up and you're gonna sit in another chair, then you're gonna sit in another chair. And a lot of times those seats will be cushioned, but that's at the very beginning of basic training, and you sit in a cushioned seat and it's just like you're just like, I just want to go to sleep. This is so comfortable because you're not used to it. You're used to sitting on the ground. You're used to sitting on bleachers, and as soon as you get to sit on a nice cushioned seat, it's just one of those things that's real nice. And then I think the last thing that I want to talk about, which I think is specific to Fort Benning because you're going to Sand Hill. The reason they call it Sand Hill is because it's just a big giant freaking sand hill, and you're gonna have sand all over you all the time, and it's just one of those things you're gonna miss being just completely clean. I guess in general you can miss that about, you know, the regular world is just missing being clean, because when you get to basic, odds are you're not gonna have the chance to really scrub your body and everything and just get totally completely clean. A lot of times, especially at the beginning of basic training, you're gonna be taking extremely fast showers. You're gonna be taking you might do shower drills, which is just like jump in the shower, jump right back out of the shower, jump in the shower, jump right back out of the shower, or you're gonna have like a minute to take a shower, right? So you're not gonna get completely clean. But when you go to Benning, you're gonna be doing PT in the sand. After PT, it's just gonna be like, you know, sand all over your body because you're sweating, it's hot. You don't really have sand in your hair, but you have sand on your head, you got sand all in your clothes or whatever. And then sometimes you don't have the time to actually take a shower after PT. So if you get back from PT, you're in your PT clothes, and they're like, all right, you gotta be back downstairs in 2 minutes. Well, that's not enough time to go upstairs and shower and then change and then come back downstairs. So you just only have time to go and change. You're gonna go throughout the entire day with just sand all of your body. Hopefully once it kind of dries out a little bit, you can kind of smack it off your ears and stuff. But for the most part, it's just gonna be a little bit uncomfortable. And this is one of the things where it's kind of just like embrace the suck. You kind of get used to it a little bit, but for the most part, it's really just gonna be sucky having sand over you all the time. You know, I guess if you go to another post where, you know, you do PT in the sand, that could be a thing. But at Sand Hill, there's just sand everywhere. So that is gonna be it for this video. I thought it was actually a little bit fun. For me, I was just reminiscing a little bit, just thinking of the times I remember sitting on these cushioned seats, and I remember getting clean drinking water. I remember going and getting water out of the shower head. I remember that, it was kind of a little bit of reminiscing for me myself. So like I said, if you guys have been in basic training before and you want to let some of these new future soldiers and stuff know some of the other things that they need to be on the lookout or whatever, like you're gonna miss this, leave a comment down below. If you guys are not following me on my Instagram, Snapchat, social media links are right here. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I'm doing this totally completely out of order. Hit that notification bell button if you already don't have the notification bell on, because I don't know why you wouldn't or whatever. But I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you later.